the recognized symbol of excellence in collecting podcasts.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio. This is a show where we talk about action figures, toys, collectibles, and all that sort of thing. My name is John Sargent.
My name is Christian McGann.
If that's the sort of stuff you're interested in, you have absolutely come to the right place. And today is going to be a good day. I am fired up to talk about all of this. We are going to book a pay-per-view of action figure fights. I'm calling it... I didn't even tell you this. I'm calling it Figure Fight Federation.
Cool.
We've each written out a card, and we're gonna take the best matches. We're gonna put together the best card of figure fights that little kids will argue about on the schoolyard for generations to come. We're gonna go through the news, everything that happened in this last week concerning toys and action figures. Then we are going to project into the future which DC Mattel figures we want and will collect, and it will be part of our hit list from Mattel when they start making adult collector-oriented DC figures. You guys can follow the show wherever you are hearing the sound of our voices, so if you wouldn't mind, please hit that subscribe or follow button. That would be awesome. Also, if you could leave us a review, that is the most important way that you could possibly support the show. Reviews are the lifeblood of the show. The only way that we could theoretically grow this into a larger community with more people hearing it and get to do things like live streams and caravan to toy shows and all that sort of stuff is if y'all review and more people find the show. So if you're on Apple, scroll to the bottom, hit the stars. If you're on Spotify, hit the three little dots, and that'll bring up your option to review. We would be very much in your gratitude if you could leave us a review. That brings us to Whatnot. We had originally said that we were going to do a Whatnot on 2/13. That is actually going to have to move. And then the following Friday after that is Friday, February 20th. So that is when the Whatnot is going to be, which is another Friday. We'll do it at night. We cannot wait to interact with you guys and sell you guys the entire overflow of my collection, which is vast. There's a lot of figures. Wrestling figures, Marvel figures, Star Wars figures. I'm looking right now the Magic the Gathering Battle Damage Spider-Man, stuff like that. So there's going to be some awesome stuff on February the 20th. Join us. If you guys want to right now, go to Whatnot, bookmark the show. And if you've never used Whatnot before, you will get $15 off your first purchase if you come join us for that. We'd love to talk with you guys. All right, I believe that gets all of the admin out of the way. I'm already out of breath. I'm blown up like the Ultimate Warrior. I haven't even finished my entrance yet. What have you been up to this week?
Yeah, well, the show was initially on the 13th of February, but it was... The good thing is I will be going to Dallas, and I will be going to Dallas Vintage Toys.
That's the only reason we're not in a fight right now.
It's V-Day also. The next day is Valentine's Day,
yeah, we put it a little too close to Valentine's Day. Yeah,
the week before is also the 3-year anniversary with Samantha.
Okay.
So it's kind of like she's going to be in Dallas. Her work's going to be paying for the hotel, and so it kind of works out a little bit perfect for both of us to be able to celebrate both things. So the stress of having to figure out what to get her is now a loaded gun behind my head.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be this thing where we find a lot of cool stuff, and I can get her toys, But yeah, man. Outside of that, the week has been really weird because obviously, we had the little frozen section of the frozen aisle.
That was this week?
The frozen aisle of Texas, yeah.
Oh my God, dude. That seems like 100 years ago to me. Yeah, I guess that was this last Monday.
Yeah, so it was really, really light start to the week, and then the heaviest of my Fridays and Saturdays are the lightest days I have, I think, as far as training clients, but they've also been the busiest days, so it's a little bit of a weird backwards feeling. And the walking saga continues, but I believe that yesterday was probably where I drew the final straw of walking.
Well, you just got...
Dude, it was
I shall not pass.
I'm telling you, man, like, I've walked in the cold, but yesterday the wind was so bad. Dude, that sucked, man.
I can only imagine.
I've had a great attitude in this car saga experience.
When I drove past you with my heater on, I was thinking, that looks like it's probably horrible.
So that's who was laughing. Dude, I was like, this is miserable. I think I made it home. It's an hour walk. I think I made it home in 30 minutes because I was just like... Booking it. And I was like almost positive I was going to wake up today with freaking pneumonia because I was like... It just was so sucky. And I was like, all right, stop. You know, I've been kind of like waiting, figuring out what I want to do, like get a new car or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm like, I got to get the wheels turning. Like, I can't do that ever again. That sucks so bad. So, yeah, that's been kind of my world. Doing a little bit of eBay glimpsing, but nothing. Haven't pulled the trigger on some stuff, man. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just saving my bullets, but I've been looking at, God, what have we been talking about? Something that, a little bit of Lord of the Rings stuff. I'm definitely like, I'm in there. I talked about how I want to get them, I don't want to buy them loose. So, yeah, there's something that I'm kind of blanking on. It may have been Power Rangers. I don't know. I kind of was going through, like, looking at a lot of, like, cheap stuff because I want to, like, fill one of the shelves that I have. I'm, like, getting close to being able to, like, make it look good and not just have, like, a shelf that has, like, a limited amount of things on it because it just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of like, I have a DC shelf, and part of my DC shelf is like full of Jurassic Park, Power Rangers, Godzilla, Star Wars. It looks cool, but I'm like, those things, I want them to have their own shelves. So I'm getting to a point where it's getting full enough to be able to like expand and make that like its own thing. So that's where I'm at. Anyway, how about you?
I had a good week. It was, I totally forgot that the freeze was this week, but I had some, had some forced power downtime, I guess, and watched a bunch of movies and, like, just got to chill and, like not be running around at 300 miles an hour. And then once real life resumed, it was kind of slow around work because people didn't want to come out of their house because it was, like, frozen. So I actually got out and, like, went around to some stores quite a bit this week. Mm-hmm. I live in Austin, Texas, so I didn't find a whole heck of a lot except for depression and disappointment. I did get at Ross, finally, the Sergeant Slaughter Mad Marauders G.I. Joe classified for $10.
Nice.
But I keep leaving it at work. So, and the only reason I got it is because I want to use the 90-pound dumbbells and the boxing gloves and like the accessories and stuff because I've already got my definitive Sergeant Slaughter, but I've been hunting that thing forever and I finally found it at Ross, so I was pretty stoked on that. I did pull the trigger on eBay on a Lava Planet Kenner Predator.
Sick.
So I now have 5 Kenner Predators up on the wall that look amazing. That's a growing collection of absolute masterpieces of art. But this week has been less about what's coming in. I also pre-ordered an Ultimate Hulk Hogan. That's like the definitive Hulk Hogan, the last Hulk Hogan I'll ever need in my life.
Wow.
But this week has been more about what's going out. So this morning, Saturday morning, taking it kind of slow, drinking coffee, throw on YouTube, and I get suggested a video that is like the history of Rambo Forces of Freedom and the toy line. And I'm like, yes, please. And it's a very in-depth, I should probably shout out, before the episode's over, I'll look up who this video was so that he gets the credit for it. Really well-made video, really well-produced, really in-depth and detailed about everything. The toys, their accessories, their features, the reaction to the cartoon, how it was based on the movies, da-da-da-da-da. I loved it. It was like right up my street, real nerdy stuff. But in the very beginning, he talks about Rambo is based off the movie First Blood, which is based off of the book First Blood. And they put up a picture of the book, of the first printing of the book. And I turned to Danielle and I go, I have that. And she goes, you do? And I go, yeah. She goes, where'd you get it? I go, I don't know. I just have had it. I don't remember acquiring it. I just have had it.
Wow.
Because I'm a Rambo fan. It's somewhere along the line. Maybe I guess I bought it on eBay or somewhere. And she goes, well, how much is it worth? And I go, I don't know. I've never even considered how much it's worth. So I jump on eBay and look at the last sold, and the last sold is $225. And I'm like, so now I'm in this like conundrum where I'm like, I love the book. I love owning the book and saying that I own the book, and I've read it twice. It's not like I don't read it. But am I going to read it again? So then I'm like, I could sell this, get $225-ish, and then use that to buy Coleco Rambo figures. Or figure.
Yes.
Which, like, I don't want a collection of those. I want to pay respect anyway.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, what do I do? So I put it on Instagram, at Mighty Champions. Go follow us for the visuals, for the interactive stuff, for polls like this when my head caves in about things and you want to, help me or steer me in the wrong direction or whatever you might want to do. Yeah. Follow us at Mighty Champions. And that poll right now is like a 50-50. And then I put it on Reddit also. And it's probably about 50-50 as well, but much more vile. And one guy goes, why don't you sell it and then buy a cheap paperback reprint for like $10 and then use the leftover? And I'm like, I think that's the play. Because I do want the story. I do want to own the story. And maybe then I would buy 2 and 3 and the subsequent ones also in cheap paperback form also and read those. So, yeah, I've got this $225 treasure just sitting here next to me that I'm trying to decide what to do with.
Well, I can tell you, you cannot go outside and play with a book. And that should tell you everything you know. So,
no good story ever started with a salad.
Yeah, like I really don't think it's like everybody's getting together. Hey man, grab your toys. Let me grab my book. Like, doesn't work like that. So yes, sell it. Do it exactly what the guy said.
So essentially, you're just calling me a nerd.
Well, no, I just think it's like, if you were a book collector...
and that's the thing. Another guy on Reddit was like, why on earth would you consider selling that? And my answer was, I'm not a book collector.
Yeah.
I don't really relish having books.
Should have been like, well, do you want it then?
Yeah, do you want to buy it? Yeah. Even comic books, like graphic novels. I want the content into my brain. Yeah. I don't really want the paper after I have that. Yeah. I have the ones that I have, and I keep them around because I'm going to come back to them and read them again. And that's why I've kept this around. So, but it never really occurred to me to just read a cheaper version of it. Will have the exact same words in it.
Dude, anything like would be a net gain. Like, even if it was $50 that you got, it'd be like, wow, I just sold a book for $50. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would definitely do that. And again, we've talked about it where your destiny is vintage now and rechasing those things down. And it is a form of paying respects, but I think that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, so I think that's the direction that I'm leaning for sure. And even if it just like as a 1-to-1, sell the book, get the one figure, the Rambo in like the one that looks like the movie. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then I'd be so content with that because I would look at that daily and be happy about it.
Exactly.
As where I'm not going to look at this book daily, right? So that's kind of where I've been at this week is working on that stuff. But what I'm really excited to talk about is the Figure Fight Federation. So let's get into that.
Okay.
Now you can imagine all the power in the universe. The Masters of the Universe collection. 23 pieces, each sold separately. There's He-Man and these heroic action figures. Skeletor and the Warriors of Evil, and 4 fighting creatures. Castle Grayskull, Point Dread, and the Talon Fighter. You put them together. And battle machines like the Attack Track, batteries not included. What would you do with all the power in the universe? He-Man, Skeletor, and all other items from the Masters of the Universe collection, each sold separately. From Mattel.
All right, this is a brand new segment that just popped into my brain. And what it is we're gonna fantasy book a fight pay-per-view. You could look at it like a wrestling pay-per-view or a UFC pay-per-view or a boxing pay-per-view or whatever. But each of us have come to the table with a list of 10 action figure fights, kind of with the mindset of like, if you were a little kid, what would you want to see, right? And not necessarily the characters, but the actual figures and their accessories. And we're not really going to debate who would win that fight. You guys can debate that. Get at us at Mighty Champions. I would love to hear your answers as to who you think would win the fights. But we're more talking about what does it look like on a poster? How much money would you pay to see that fight occur? And we're going to try to put together the greatest fight card in the history of figures. So we have got a list that we have ordered from least most interesting to most interesting. And then...
Wait, so 1 to 10...
10 to 1.
10 to 1. Oh, okay, then I'll read it backwards then.
Yeah. Yeah, generally when you do lists, they don't get less interesting as you go.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then we're going to we'll discuss between us which of the fights are better and then put together the ultimate 10-fight card. You with me?
I'm with you.
Okay. So why don't you kick it off with your number 10?
Okay, so one of these I knew absolutely was going to happen. At least one of the characters that I'm going to choose. It was just about finding the opponent, which I think I had to do some digging. So,
and full disclosure, you don't have like a wrestling mind or like a fighting mind like I do. This is the stuff that occupies my brain the vast majority of the time.
Yeah, which is weird.
But you were a kid, and
Yes.
I'm sure you had arguments of Hulk versus Thing or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's the other thing is that this is all universe versus a completely different universe. Right. So Hulk versus Thing is off the table.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I battled myself because I was like, it took me, like I said, it took me about 2.5 days to put this list together because I was like, well, I know what I would pick, but like, I said it before we started that I was like, I feel like I'm a one-trick pony because I only like specific things. And then like to gain motivation for the list, I just stared at my shelves and I was like,
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, I was like, let me think this through, like what would actually be a good fight rather than just like, pairing one versus the other, and it was like, all right, I think I got an idea of what I think would be a good idea or for a fight. My number 1.
Your number 10?
Sorry, number 10. Oh wait, crap. All right, I'm gonna go with number 10. You'll appreciate this one then. They'll all be pretty. All right, they'll be good. So number 10. Or actually 9. I'm looking that I only have 9. Son of a gun. I know, bro. Hold on. It's just, all right. I think you know what? I had another one, but I erased it. I don't think I replaced it. All right. Let's just call it number 10. Number 10. Marvel Legends Toy Biz The Thing.
Okay.
Versus Ed 209.
Dude. The police force? The Kenner?
Do they have one?
Yeah.
Because I was like,
yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was a thing yet. Okay,
yeah.
Let's call it that then.
Yeah, so in this instance, I believe the Toy Biz Thing is significantly bigger than that.
Well, let's just imagine.
Oh, I mean, it's toy versus toy. But also, Ed 209 is a walking arsenal
exactly
that makes panther noises.
Yes, exactly. It growls. Yeah. Actually, you know what? How big is it? It'd probably be about the same height difference maybe, or slightly smaller than the Thing.
They're about the same height?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Looking at it.
Because the Thing is, sometimes the Thing is depicted as tall and sometimes he's depicted as short.
So he's probably like 6.5 inches.
Okay.
And then, but if we thought about it in terms of like what this would look like in an actual fight,
yeah,
that's
good stuff.
It'd be sick.
That's really good stuff. So what you're describing to kind of bring you along is you're kind of describing what I would call a mirror match, meaning two somewhat indestructible forces, right?
Yes.
That's really good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 10 to go against your number 10, and we'll decide which one we like more, right? And guys, it's not an argument, it's more of collaborative. We're trying to get the best card we can get together. Is a tag team match.
Okay.
And here was my thing, my approach to this whole thing. I was like, what do I like? what would I want to see happen? What would I want to, if I were to debate who would win, which ones would it be? And how can I use a little bit of everything that I like, right? So, and as we talked about, it can't be the same universe, right? So that made it tough to have so many different universes in this list. So this fight, is about Arsenal. Okay. So number 10, Marvel Legends Gamerverse Punisher and Nick Fury.
Okay.
With double machine guns, double pistols, double baseball bats, double grenades, and a briefcase full of money. Versus the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Valkyries 2-pack with double rifles, double pistols, and backpacks full of weapons. Right? So basically it's 2-on-2 and millions of guns.
Yeah.
Like, I just was like, yeah, for sure. Like, if you were on the floor,
That's, yeah.
Like, that's
It's not the twins, right? Is that what you're saying?
it's the Valkyries. It's two like girl Cobra figures.
Oh, two girls. Okay, I thought it was the other guys, the whatever twins.
But like tons of weapons.
Sick.
I think yours is better.
Okay.
I like
because
yours
this
more.
one's like all out kind of brawl. Like it's the Thing versus something that has guns, but it's
Yeah.
also like he still has to take it down.
Yeah, I like yours more than mine. So we'll go with that for our number 10.
Okay.
What is your number 9?
Okay. So, in the imagination, because these are off, like the scale of these is way off. So, for the sake of imagination, let's just pretend. And I always want to pay respect to what came first. And for me anyway. So, let's just pretend that the scale is going to work in this fight. All right. For all fights going forward. All right.
You can. I'm not.
Okay. Well, then
Scale has a lot to do with why I chose what I chose. So.
Okay. Then.
Yeah.
Son of a gun. So instead of Kenner, we'll go Hasbro. Okay. So we're gonna go Hasbro Indiana Jones versus Toy Biz Face Off Series Baron Zemo.
Interesting. Explain.
So I love the idea of Indiana Jones and Captain America existing at the same time. I think that would be an amazing story.
I've never thought about that. Yeah, I like that.
An amazing story, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I think they would be a really good tag team, like little one-off, like 1940-something little story where they're like, because Indiana Jones was fighting Nazis, right?
Yeah.
So, and then Baron Zemo is the dude that wears the mask, right?
Yeah,
the
right.
purple mask. He has a sword, right? He's not overpowered. He's just kind of a bad guy.
That does make sense for them to be fighting each other.
It does make sense for them to be fighting each other. And like, I think you could go where they have weapons and he's got the whip and then he's got the sword. And then I think it would be just like an all out kind of nice little brawl kind of scenario.
I like that. Like that. Okay. My number 9, I was trying to think, like matchups, styles, integrating vintage stuff, new stuff, trying to get across the entire board. So I started with, I want to go new on this one. And then I was like, what new lines are interesting? And then I figured one out. And I was like, who do I like in that line? Everyone. And then I was like, but what are interesting matchups? And then it occurred to me, and I can't believe this is number 9. It tells you how great the rest of my list is.
Okay.
Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Ultra Balrog.
Okay.
Okay. Just a guy with boxing gloves.
Cool.
Right? But he's like jacked.
Yeah.
Versus Storm Collectibles Mike Tyson.
Oh, that's good.
Because Balrog is a knockoff of Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And the Storm Collectibles Mike Tyson is so sick.
Wow.
It's one of the coolest figures I've ever seen in my life. It comes with multiple heavyweight belts. It looks like, I've used this phrase before, it looks like that figure that when you go to sleep, it beats the crap out of all your other figures.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love it.
This is Mike Tyson.
Michael Scott. Yeah, let's go with yours.
Yeah,
I think that's power versus power. That's like when they punch each other, you're seeing like the shock waves off their face kind of stuff.
Well, I love it.
All right, you're gonna respect the frick out of this one and probably laugh pretty hard. This one is pulled straight from a story that I told a couple episodes back when I was having that conversation with one of my buddies, and he was basically telling me he had all the toys on Earth, and then he was going into detail. about how, you know, a day at school that he brought his wrestler or he brought his dinosaurs to show and tell, right? So this one is a Jack's Pacific Camo Carnage Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'm shocked that you even...
I had to dig it. I had to dive. All right.
Okay.
Camo Carnage, right?
Yep.
Stone Cold versus Kenner Jurassic Park Lost World Velociraptor. Because that is what they used to do. He would bring his dinosaurs. The other friend would bring wrestlers, and they would make them fight. And I was like, that's the perfect example of what we're talking about. Not only that, but the Camo Carnage... He's got like camo pants on. It comes with like a crossbow and like a bunch of other weapons.
Yeah, it's like Steve Austin the Hunter.
100%.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm just looking at this freaking Velociraptor outside my window.
Just got done doing shoulders and traps.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's incredible.
Yes, I think that would be great. I think if a Velociraptor showed up, Stone Cold ain't gonna be hiding.
Wait, you said Kenner Velociraptor?
It's going to be a Kenner Jurassic Park because I was thinking about the timeline.
Yeah.
And I was like, they probably were playing with either Lost World or...
Jack, well, I'm trying to remember which is that a bone crunching action?
This is from 2001, I believe. I
think that's still bone crunching action. So, yeah, he'd be a relatively in scale with that
exactly.
Velociraptor.
That's kind of what I was looking for.
Yeah,
So.
I love that.
Cool.
Okay, I'm already giving it to you.
Okay.
On this one, so this one had a little bit more to do with scale than anything else. So I went with the 1986 Hasbro G.I. Joe Mail Away Sergeant Slaughter, the G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter, with a riding crop, versus the also same scale, same type of figure, O-ring, 1994 Hasbro Mortal Kombat Goro.
Dang, that's sick.
Because I was just trying to do O-ring versus O-ring.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm driving home from work yesterday, get a text from Danielle, what the hell's an G.I. Joe O-ring? Because she's listening to the podcast and just heard that phrase and was like, what is that?
Oh, I thought she was like looking at search history like G.I. Joe O-ring. Like that sounds like something you'd have to get from a pharmacist.
No, so yours absolutely wins that. So, what was the name of Austin? Steve Austin what?
It was Camo Carnage. Good Lord, I have it spelled all backwards. Stone Cold, yeah.
Oh my God, that's so good. All right, what's your number 7?
Okay, my number 7. This one is sick. I'm okay if we pass on it, but just visualizing it in my head, I was like, oh, this is gas. Toy Biz Spider-Man Classics Daredevil, which is the first one that came out of the Daredevil, where he's got like kind of the Judge Dredd chin, where it's just tucked down and he looks like grizzled and kind of older, real super articulated, versus the Bandai black, red, and blue Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Ninja Rangers. Okay, when they're in like the ninja getup.
So you're going 3-on-1?
3-on-1. Because and when I think Daredevil, it made me think about the show where he's fighting like all the dudes in the hallways and stuff like that.
The hand, they represent the hand.
Kind of the hand, but then I was like, man, like who could go toe to toe with him? And I'm like, dude, if you had 3 Rangers on one Daredevil, like there's something so sick about that.
Okay.
So,
all right. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. Okay, my number 7 is about technology.
Okay.
Okay, it's about armament, if that could be a word now. And I'm going, like I said, I'm trying to cover as many lines and as many eras as I can. So I'm going Star Wars Black Series, The Mandalorian, with the Darksaber, the knife, and a blaster. Mind you, he doesn't know how to use the Darksaber, but he has it. Versus your favorite and mine, go to Target right now, Marvel Legends Infinity Saga, Iron Man Mark III, which is the end of the first movie.
Okay.
Like the Iron Man suit. So armored up, like full of weapons, jetpacks flying, like Robot Man versus Robot Man.
Yeah, that actually, I think if he has the saber
Yeah.
Then he's like, he puts up like and he's super skilled and he can fly. So that's a good one. I think they could go toe to toe.
Okay. So man, that's tough.
It is tough. I think maybe because you picked mine the last time, we can.
But which one's better?
I mean, if I wanted to watch a fight take place like in a ring, and you had Daredevil versus three Power Rangers, but also 3 Power Rangers dressed like ninjas, that fires me up. But
I think Mandalorian and Iron Man's got star power.
it does. So I'm okay if we go that route. Like I said, I'm okay if I lose. I would just love to see that fight take place.
That's really tough. Well, you only had 9, right?
Yeah.
Let's back pocket that one.
Okay.
Let's back pocket that one, and then if we need it later, we'll bring it back. All right, what's your number 6?
So you actually gave me this one, but when I thought about it, I was like, that's actually a really good idea. So I have Toy Biz, Lord of the Rings, Legolas. Legless versus the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Hawkeye.
Okay.
And I mean, you just have like bow and arrow versus bow and arrow, like skilled hand-to-hand combat versus skilled hand-to-hand combat. Obviously, Hawkeye has more like accessories, in the Hawkeye Toy Biz.
Yeah, let's see Legolas get a boxing glove on a.
Here's the thing. So like he also has like the Ant-Man, the arrow that has the Ant-Man laying on it. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
But I think Legolas kind of dips a little bit more into like superpower territory because I just recently watched Lord of the Rings, both 1 and 2, and just seeing how stoic he is. Like Clint Barton is cool, and he's like a ninja basically, essentially, but it's like he's emotional. I think like he has like the weakness of like human emotion. Whereas
he has like a meltdown in Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Basically is like, I'm just a guy with a bow and arrow. Like get it together and come help me.
Right. And then Legolas is like 3,000 years old.
Yeah.
He also can see like 50 miles or something like that. And he's just going to kill you. He doesn't have to think about, and then he also is like extremely skilled hand-to-hand combat with or without his weapons, but he also has like daggers. So that's kind of where I was like, man, like you got a guy that, I mean, I think it would be like a really long fight if I had to take a guess, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm realizing this is going to get harder and harder and harder for us to pick which one it's going to be as we go on. So just be prepared for that. So this one you might not have a tremendous amount of knowledge about, so I'm going to have to sell you on it.
Okay.
The idea here is, okay, you got a show. You need multiple types of matches. You going to take the crowd this way, take the crowd that way. This is our bloodbath segment of the show.
Okay.
So we've got the 2008 Jack Specific WWE Classic Superstars, 1 of 3,000 Cactus Jack.
Okay.
Which comes with a barbed wire bat, a barbed wire table, a trash can, and a chair. And Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, Mankind, is just known for the most violent, imaginable stuff that has ever happened. Versus Super 7 Ultimate Casey Jones.
Cool.
With bat, hockey stick, cricket bat, and golf club, right? So another just like, there's just implements of destruction everywhere.
Yeah.
Masked guys, tough guys, brawler guys, just beating each other senseless, blood everywhere.
I think we give it to you because that, I think just like, it's super gritty.
Yeah.
I think you push Casey Jones to however far he needs to be pushed. He's just going to keep going.
Yeah. I think I agree, but not because it's mine, because I feel like the show needs that change of pace.
Yeah. It needs like up on the ladder kind of like, and then I think because Casey Jones just uses like brute force, like he's just like, he's got like blunt objects to hit you with.
He's not even necessarily skilled.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Jose Canseco bet? Please tell me you didn't pay money for that.
Also, and The Sopranos. Dang, I actually had a Sopranos
He
thing.
is?
Yeah, he's...
because he's like bald, huh?
He's bald, and he's the guy that's helping them do an intervention for Chrissy.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
He's like,
remember
oh, you were the guy that broke into so-and stole all those pork roasts or whatever. He's like, well, that's not why I'm here, but yes. I wanted to do I meant to do this earlier about doing like a Sopranos thought of the week. So before we end, remind me to talk about the Sopranos because I think I can go. I'm going to try to have a streak where I bring something up new about the Sopranos every episode. Because I'm pretty sure I can do it.
Get at us at Mighty Champions if that's something you want.
Please. I'm just going to do it anyway, regardless. All right, so again, let's take scale out and just use pure child imagination.
Okay.
I use this first one because I see it quite a bit across the YouTube channels, and it's apparently like a grail, and it's like a really super rare figure, and it's like this thing of myth and thing of legend. Don't know anything, never watched the show. We talked about the trailer coming up here, which is the Wonder Bread He-Man.
Wonder Bread?
Apparently that was like a thing where like people had Wonder Bread, and if you like mailed in like a proof of, I could be completely wrong about this, I'm just going based off of maybe 2.5 videos of Toy Federation.
Okay.
Where you mailed in like probably like a proof of purchase type thing.
Yeah. And
then you got the Wonder Bread He-Man figure in the mail.
Okay.
And only like a handful of people have it, and it's like super expensive.
It's like the He-Man that everybody's after.
I don't know. Or like it's kind of like, didn't they do like one with like a ravioli shredder or something like that? Or chef? I don't know.
They were constantly doing that kind of stuff.
There was stuff like that, but they're like apparently relatively rare.
Okay.
So I just went Wonder Bread He-Man versus Giant Man Build-A-Figure Wave from Toy Biz Thor. So He-Man versus Thor.
Dude, that's classic.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a
classic.
great fight because it's like kind of similar. Right? Very similar against each other where they're just like dudes trying to defend whatever, you know.
So I can't believe that this hasn't come up yet, but I have He-Man on my card later on.
Okay.
So I think rather than deciding between your number 5 versus my number 5, we should decide, like, pin that, and
Okay.
then we'll decide your He-Man fight or my He-Man fight.
Works for me.
Okay. So my number 5 is... this started off as one thing, and then I had a stroke of genius and changed it.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let's go retro, and just do stuff I like. Like that was my thought process for this one, and I was like, we talked about it last week, so it was on my mind, and I said, okay, like definitely got to get the Kenner Terminator 2 exploding T-1000 in here somewhere.
Of course.
Right? With the blast apart action rifle and metal beam.
Yeah.
I was like, got to have him in there. And initially, I put him against Lava Planet Predator.
Okay.
Because, you know,
Yes.
I was like, yeah, that seems cool.
Makes sense.
Then I thought better of it. And what I went with was Kenner Terminator 2 exploding T-1000 versus Toy Biz X-Men Wolverine.
Whoa, that's sick.
Right? Indestructible versus indestructible. We're going to have to put a time limit on it.
Yeah.
It's 20-minute time limit on this match or whatever, hour, because I don't think anybody's defeating anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
that's a good one though.
yeah.
That's like pinnacle 90s like Rage versus like, you know, the like Ordered to Kill versus like Born to Kill, essentially.
There's a high likelihood that I laid on the floor and actually did this.
For sure.
Like a high likelihood.
For sure.
All right, what's your number 4?
So this is, you probably already have one similar to this. So I have so I've got NECA RoboCop
Sick.
versus the Toy Biz and what we discovered recently in recent episodes of the legendary comic book heroes Judge Dredd.
Oh.
So I think a RoboCop versus Judge Dredd like battle would be
That's
amazing.
good stuff. That is
The
good.
thing is like the Judge Dredd could be a little bit bigger. Like it's a little bit of a skinny figure for him.
That's fine. That's fine.
But yeah, that would be sick, man.
That
you
is
got Justice versus Justice, and then like, you know, they both have the right to.
They're kind of a commentary on one another.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, like, oh, I love that. Okay, I went with just what were we arguing about on the schoolyard? like, what were we talking about here? There are 12 figures in this fight.
Okay.
Okay. Team 1, Playmates Series 1 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Cool.
Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael.
Okay.
Team 2, Mattel Series 1 Street Sharks.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Ripster, Streaks, Jab, Big Slam.
Yeah.
Team 3, Galoob Series 1 Biker Mice from Mars.
Okay.
Throttle, Mondo, Vinny, and Charlie. So the OG Ninja Turtles versus the two teams of absolute rip-offs, but they've got their fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's people out there that are, like, prefer them or like at least like them.
So I would say people would pay more to see that, because I think a lot more people watched the shows. I think it reached a larger scale.
Yeah.
Of, like, people loved Street Sharks and were watching the cartoons. I think you would have entire generations backing that. Whereas I feel like maybe mine would be, people would maybe pay to see it, but I almost think it would just be like this, like, you know, Friday night in Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, just
dude, that is good stuff.
Yeah.
Though. If we weren't doing this elimination thing, that's good stuff.
Like I said, I think it's just like, you know, Judge Dredd turns the corner in freaking Mega City 1, and there's RoboCop, and then it's just like, you know, it's just some random day in history.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we could probably do an entire episode on that one day.
Exactly.
All right, what is your number 3?
So this would technically be my last one, I guess.
Okay, I don't think you can count to 10, but like...
I don't know
Oh,
where...
no, because we've got 2 years that are on hold.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, got it. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe you just can't count, because...
No, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9.
Good job.
All right, so this is going to be my last one, I guess.
Okay.
Again, this one was difficult because I needed to find the right opponent, but for some reason it just spoke to me. But I have DC Direct JLA Wildcat
Okay.
versus Toy Biz Marvel Legends Punisher.
Ooh.
And the reason I did that was because, one, I was thinking about a custom Wildcat figure. Like,
Yeah.
you take the mask off, and I think that Punisher head is a perfect Ted Grant.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of like this grizzled face. He's got the Judge Dredd chin, right? Like the little like upside down U for the mouth. Kind of like scarred up, but there's just something about them meeting in a ring. And then just like the Punisher just like putting his weapons down and just like rapping his knuckles, and then Wildcat just rapping his knuckles, and then just like grizzled versus grizzled, just brawl. Like, you know, first one to die loses.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I hate to do this to you.
Okay.
It's not going to take the number 3 spot because I made my number 3 with the thought process of what would Christian do?
Okay.
And this is going to blow your socks off.
Okay.
Doesn't even need explanation of
Okay.
any kind. 1993 Kenner Jurassic Park Electronic Tyrannosaurus Rex
Okay.
versus 1998
Godzilla.
Trendmasters Ultimate Godzilla.
Holy crap. Yeah. That's good.
I was like, yeah, that's directly up his street.
Yeah, it was funny. I was trying to figure out where to fit in Godzilla. I didn't really think about dinosaur versus dinosaur. I was like, maybe Hulk versus, I don't know. But then I'm like, man, yeah, it's pretty...
And then I even like checked. They're about the exact same scale. They're
Did
like
that.
virtually the same scale.
I probably would have done that when I was younger.
That's good stuff.
So,
I don't know how you did your math so poorly, but okay, I got 2 more.
okay.
So number 2, Kenner Predator Cracked Tusk,
Okay.
which is essentially like a regular Predator. Kenner really only put out like a standard from the movie Predator in the Alien versus Predator, and I don't F with that. So I went with the Cracked Tusk, who's got a firing pulse cannon. But Predators got to have game. They
Right.
got to have somebody to hunt. They got to have somebody to give them a challenge that they deem worthy. And we can't do same universe, so it's not Arnold.
Okay.
So it's 1986, Coleco, Rambo, Forces of Freedom, Rambo.
Oh, that's
Rambo versus
beautiful.
Predator.
Beautiful.
I just was like, yeah, that's my stuff.
I don't think Rambo's scared in the slightest.
No, He's like, let's do this.
Yeah, I think he is going to scare the Predator.
Especially Forces of Freedom Rambo. He's like cutting jokes. He's a funny guy.
No, it's weird. I didn't know that. That's funny.
Okay, what was your not your He-Man one, but your other one that we had on hold?
What was that one? Oh, it was the Daredevil versus 3.
Daredevil versus 3. I think that's yeah, I don't know if we have something on here where it's like that's definitely better. Okay, let's go to the number one and see if your He-Man can top my He-Man.
Okay.
I think it does. So my number one, which is what I remember specific arguments about this in single digits, in double digits, in my 20s, having this argument with people.
Okay.
Mattel, Series 1 Masters of the Universe He-Man with Power Sword versus LJN Series 1 Thundercats Lion-O.
Yeah, I figured you were going Thundercats. Yeah.
But I think if we're doing this now, Thor gets more pay-per-view buys than Lion-O does, because Thundercats have been essentially irrelevant for a while. So let's go with yours for the top spot.
Okay.
I think, plus you used a more sought after He-Man.
Yeah, and I feel like there's something with like Thor having like thunder strike his hammer, which I'm assuming there's probably a version of He-Man that like absorbs some power from somewhere.
When he does the I got the power, he like lightning hits him. I don't know if it's literal lightning or just power, like energy, but like
there's something to explore.
Something happens there. And you were going with the Toy Biz?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have got our entire card here. So you guys bought a ticket. You sit down for the Action Figure Fight Federation, and you get such delightful fights as Toy Biz Thing versus Ed 209, Jada Toys Street Fighter Balrog versus Mike Tyson, Steve Austin Camo Carnage versus JP Velociraptor. That's the sleeper. That is the sleeper like match of the night for me. You got your Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian versus Infinity Saga Iron Man Mark III. You got Classic Superstars Cactus Jack versus Super 7 Ultimate Casey Jones. You got Toy Biz Wolverine versus Exploding T-1000. You got Ninja Turtles versus Street Sharks versus Biker Mice from Mars. You got your T-Rex versus Godzilla in your third match from the end. Your co-main event is Predator versus Rambo. And then in your main event, the marquee outside says Wonder Bread He-Man versus Toy Biz Thor.
I think that would
break records.
It would shatter Netflix. Yeah.
No, we're not on Netflix. We're on an actual pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Come on, bro.
$49.99.
All right, let's get to the news.
New at 11, buyer beware. A local family is outraged over a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy that they bought for their son. It says a variety of phrases, but the family believes one of them includes a swear word that starts with a B.
All right, it was a major news week this week. And as we drop on Monday, some of this stuff has been getting talked about for a little while now, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So let's start with the first and foremost, which to me, for us, for this podcast, maybe not for other podcasts, but for this one, is the reveal of the DC Mattel figures. There was a poster that got kind of discovered at a German toy fair by Comic Toy Hunter, and then that was aggregated by absolutely everybody on planet Earth having anything to do with toys.
Yeah.
And the poster shows off Deathstroke, Joker, Batman, Robin, Flash, Green Lantern, John Stewart, a different Batman, and Superman. And people went, the internet did what the internet does, and it went real negative real fast. Then Mattel put out the official image of it and was like, okay, here's a not video grainy running past it. Here's the actual image. And these are basics.
Right.
These are a kid's line of basics, like they're one step better than the like 12-inch Titan shampoo bottle figures. And the collector version is coming later on down the road, which we knew. They said that before too.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on these?
I mean, we're kind of getting into them in the next segment, right?
We're gonna talk about like just our hit list. Like who do we want?
I'll save it for when we jump into the segment.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say I really don't have too much of an opinion about these kind of basics, right? Yeah. Like, or the main event, or like whatever you want to call them. I think it's a good idea. I think the character designs are good. I think the character choices are good. I think like they're still a year away from production, or 8 months away from production. So I find this promising. I don't really have a lot to go off of, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that the internet went so negative so fast on something that really doesn't have the space to be negative about. Okay, in other news, we might as well knock out all the Motu that happened this week, because it was crazy. This one day, Entertainment Weekly of all sources, which that was weird, dropped everything. So they showed off what I perceived to be wave 1 of the Masters of the Universe from the movie figures. So you've got He-Man and Battle Cat. I love Battle Cat. I've always loved Battle Cat. I just think it's a cool thing, a cool toy thing, a cool, just like if you're a kid and you like toys thing, is like a giant cat that, you know, is green and orange and wears armor, and He-Man rides it. Cool story behind that. If you guys watch the Toys That Made Us, like they just repurposed some jungle thing that turned into this. But I think they look great. Yeah, I think they look really, really good
for movie toys. Yeah,
for movie toys. Like if you didn't know there was a movie coming out, these would look pretty good. Anyways, right? They also showed off Evelina, which. That one does look like an MCU, like you're buying the actress. Yeah, it does. Like that looks like Alison Brie, and not really. That one doesn't do anything for me. They showed off. What is her name? Tila. Tila looks good, but like some of these figures have very bland facial expressions. Yeah, they look like sleepy. Trapjaw looks great. Trapjaw looks like if you just handed somebody this Trapjaw and they didn't know there was a movie coming out, they would just think it's a new cool Trapjaw. Yeah. Like, and I love that the movie, presumably because of the figure, looks like the OG figures. Yeah. Which is like, that's what we all ever want. There is Man at Arms, another one where it's like from the neck down, great, like armored up, guns, staff thing, like articulation, but it looks like just an Idris Elba, sleepy Idris Elba in the face. Yeah. So that leaves a little bit to be desired. There is Triclops, pretty cool, actually. Like, I don't really have a lot of recollection of that character, but I do like this figure. And then last but not least, Skeletor looks awesome. Yeah. Like, awesome. Again, just kind of like a slightly updated version of the character that we know him to look like. And since you can't hear Jared Leto's voice when you're looking at the figure, that is a positive. But I think for a first wave, they look really cool. I think the movie's going to kick up a ton of nostalgia, and these are going to sell like crazy. Because so many people around my age who grew up on He-Man, or maybe even slightly older than me, that haven't really thought about it, are going to go watch the movie, and they're going to show it to their kids, and it's going to have a massive resurgence. Yeah, like, agreed. Also in Motu news, I don't know where you get this. I guess Big Bad Toy Store. The Masters of the Universe Castle Grayskull 8-foot lawn inflatable. And I'm like, for $160. Dude, these people that love lawn inflatables, I don't know if it's as big everywhere as it is in Austin. It's huge in my neighborhood. Yeah. This thing's going to go. Like, people are going to buy that. Yeah. Okay, let's move over to Transformers. This one caught my eye, and I went on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. So we've talked about Transformers. We've talked about how neither one of us is necessarily like a big fan of it. You're almost a hater.
Not a hater. I'm just not interested.
Yeah. So I have had intermittent times in my life where I was very interested and not interested at all. But I love Transformers the movie, not the Michael Bay movie, the animated movie. Yeah. So they showed off from the MTMTE collection, Optimus Prime and Megatron from the animated movie. And I was like, oh, cool, these look great. Then I saw that they're $60. And I was like, oh, they must be enormous.
Dang.
Nope, they're the same scale as the ones that you see hanging around pegworming at Walmart.
That's crazy.
So why are they? I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. I need a real Transformers fan to explain that one to me. You can't upcharge based on interest. Yeah, like oh, people will like these, therefore they cost more. No, it's just part of the line. Like, it just, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see WWE being like, oh, this Steve Austin in the main Elite line is now twice as much. That doesn't, that's not cool.
Yeah, that's weird.
Speaking of wrestling, we also got a look at some of the new Wave 2 LJNs. We see Jesse Ventura in his pink tuxedo. Looks like just 1985 ripped out of the television screen and molded in rubber. I love it. There's a King Kong Bundy. He's got that kind of King Hippo posture from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And then already revealed, put up for pre-order, and sold out immediately, the Ultimate Warrior.
Wow.
Because that's the hardest to find of the original LJNs. And it's the hardest to find in any kind of like usable condition because it's like brown or black rubber underneath, so it just really looks like crap. So putting out a new one is like the one that everyone's missing from their collection. Sold out instantaneously.
Wow.
So that's a big deal. These LJNs are popular, like a success, like a major success. And then the last two bits of news that I found were from Mondo. One is they teased a Superman animated series.
Yeah.
They didn't really show it off. You just see kind of a dark image of the crest on his chest, which I think is like, and it's in the 1/6 Mondo.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be like 8 or 10 inches, something like that, which like it'll maybe be on par with the 10-inch Justice League Mattels that I have, but it'll be $795.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure it'll look great. I'll let those enjoy who will spend the money for it.
Yeah. And then the last thing is actually not from Mondo, it's from Super 7. There was an announcement that Super 7 and Skybound are partnering to make Invincible figures, which that's cool for two reasons. One, I like Invincible. I read a lot of the first bit of the run leading up to the cartoon, and I watched the first couple of seasons. The only reason that I haven't continued is I just don't have the time, but I really like Invincible. And the other thing is, it means that Super 7 is not going anywhere. You know what I mean? They're bringing on new stuff. I'm kind of worried about Super 7 because they've kind of made some statements in the past that were not like confidence building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I kind of have the same thing about Jazzwares and AEW. I'm like, I don't think that's going to last too long. But Invincible and Super 7 on the way. All right, let's talk about our DC hit lists.
Call in the Justice League. The Joker's up to his old tricks, but Batman's got a surprise.
Wings deploy.
Bring on the battle and light up the night. Batman flies in to dump the trash.
Calling all Justice League members.
It's the greatest superhero team of all time. Battlewing Batman figure and Justice League action figures each sold separately. With a parent, you can download the app for more Justice League action.
With the reveal of the DC figures that are coming up, even if they are basics that we've seen so far, it kind of got the juices flowing that there will be an adult collector DC line coming down the road. We already did an episode where we talked about what we would want that to look like as far as a release.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You kind of wanted it to follow kind of the Marvel Legends kind of way that they release things. I kind of wanted it to be like the WWE way of releasing things mixed with the Marvel Legends way of doing things. But what we didn't really get into was which figures would we want theoretically. So what's your thought process here?
Yeah, I was thinking about it because like when I saw those initially, I was like, okay, thank God. Because I was like, you know, I've mentioned over the several episodes about how I battle with the idea of wanting to buy modern, mainly because I feel like my journey is just nostalgia driven, where it's like chasing down everything that, you know, is the most meaningful to me. So buying modern feels like I'm not doing that. It's like a good way, like I do feel the itch for sure, and I do see like the draw. So, but like obviously DC is incredibly important for me. So I'm like, man, like I'm battled because if I buy things that are modern today, it reminds me of today. It doesn't remind me of yesterday, like the best times. It reminds me of today's times, where it's like the price tag just keeps going up. Like it doesn't feel like there's an excitement to it. And I was like, what would make me excited for that? And I was like really racking my brain, and I couldn't really remember what I said in that episode, the Mattel, because I was like, what would get me to buy it? And I was like, well, obviously, like not crazy, super expensive, because like that would just easily turn me away if they were like cracking $30 even or whatever. But I did think for myself, I was like, well, if they looked. I think right now in my brain, if we're imagining, because again, like when I saw those Mattels, I was like, oh, thank God, I can skip them, because like if you look back at the history of Mattel, the DC Universe classics, which I think those look like amazing, but they got way worse. Like the figures got way worse, and somebody even was using an example of like what the last Mattel like on the shelf figures looked like, in comparison to like the ones that got released, because we all thought that those were like the main line, right? Before somebody was like, they're the kid toy versions.
Right.
When they looked awful. Like it was like a terrible looking thing, and it felt like it was cheap, and it felt like they were just kind of doing whatever to get it out the door. So I was like, if they go that route, I think it's an easy miss for me. Because like McFarlane's already doing every character now. Like I think before, if I was still collecting McFarlane, I would be like, oh, I would love for them to do this character. They've already done it, but I've already been out on McFarlane for over 2 years probably.
Right.
So I was like, man, if they made figures that looked like the NECA Predator versus Batman, Superman versus Alien, Green Lantern versus Alien, whatever.
Well, like describe that though. Like look like it. How? Like just like really, really ultra detailed, ultra articulated.
They look like just pulled out of the pages. There's not like an.
But now you're driving the price up on yourself.
You are driving the price up, but I think that's what would get me to want to buy them, and if they were at a right price point. So it's like I'm almost wishing for two things that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So I think that. It's really difficult. And for me, I think it's a solely wait and see. Like I'm like, it needs to move. It needs to like part the seas for me to want to commit. Because again, like I think my journey ends. My journey is like the past, and like going to toy stores and buying vintage toys. Like I don't know if that'll ever change. I mean, obviously I'm buying like some modern Jurassic Park, but I think like. I'm also trying to go after the older ones too, right? Because you know that's just going to communicate more to me.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about what because you were like, think about a list of the characters that you would want to do, and I was like, I mean, really any character would be fine for me. You know, like I don't care about any like modern depictions of some of the characters. You know, like I don't need like I'll never need a Jokerized or any. I don't think anybody ever needs that. And there's like other characters that I could care less about that maybe are like more modern, kind of like in story comic stuff. I think they'll definitely do what McFarlane does. It's just like comic versions. I mean, Mattel did that before, so you're definitely going to be getting absolute Batman and like that type of stuff. I mean, I'm assuming McFarlane's getting their hands on that now, because that probably would be like a.
I talked about it whenever we did our predictions. McFarlane is going to empty the gun
chamber. Yeah,
they're going to fire out absolutely every single thing that they could pot, and the quality towards the very end will plummet because they're just trying to crank all those things out.
But I think the Absolute Batman series, I haven't read it, but I know a lot of people love that whole like Absolute universe. So I think you'll see a lot of those get done. But I did think, I was like, well, I think it would be cool, and maybe like, you know, I think obviously they're going to start with the big characters first. So you're going to get a Batman, you're most likely going to get a Superman. But I was like, you know, I think if they wanted to do it smart, it'd be like, what if you just released like the 7, but then the alter ego of each of those characters, because we talked about that with Mafex.
Yeah, the Mafex, Bruce Wayne, and Clark Kent. Like, let's make that a trend.
Yeah.
The alter ego, the secret identity.
Yeah,
Like,
and you could make it like, you know, a chase kind of type scenario. But I think if you did, you know, I think a lot of people would really buy into it. You do a Clark Kent Batman, you do a Bruce Wayne, you do a Barry Allen or Wally West, however you want to do it. You know, Diana, you do Jon Stewart, whatever. Like, I think if you did that with the right kind of packaging, the right kind of accessories, I think that would change the game, because that's something McFarlane's never done, ever. And
scale matters too. I don't want a 7.5-inch tall guy in a suit.
Yeah.
But I do want a 6-inch tall guy in a suit. Don't ask me why.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what the difference is, because McFarlane's don't feel like toys. They feel like articulated statues because they're enormous.
Yeah.
So there's like a little hang up there. You know what I mean? That's like, I don't know why scale matters so much to me, but it does.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think they'll pull from the Marvel Legends thing, and then they'll do like the swappable heads and stuff. Like,
yeah.
I think you'll get Batman with a swappable Bruce Wayne head for sure. But I think just doing those characters on their own, like a side piece kind of thing, I think you would see a lot of. I think there would be some left on the shelf. Like, I don't know who wants a Barry Allen, but like somebody, because of like figure photography and
a lot of people would, because if they're going to do it the way that I'm going to do it, which we'll get into in a minute, and you have a where's he from? Star City?
Central City.
If you have a Central City shelf,
yeah,
and you need your Iris, and you need a Barry Allen also on that shelf.
Yeah,
it's essential to the world building, which is what collecting is now. It's figure photography and world building and a shelf dedicated to your thing, however that manifests for you.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, that matters. You know what I mean? Like, that will sell.
But that's what I have. That's it. Because I was like thinking, I'm like, I'm a wait and see kind of person. And again, my imagination is like, it's crazy to think that NECA looking figures, like, for some reason have to be $40 or $35 because they look so good, and like there's just no way they can look this good, you know?
So I've got obviously a completely different approach, because one, the main thing that I buy is modern Mattel figures because of wrestling.
Yeah.
And I think that they do, by and large, an outstanding job. And they have been doing an outstanding job for about 13 years. And over that time period, it's gotten better and better and better and better. Like the details, the deco hits, the face scans, the articulation, the accessories that come with it, the release schedule. There's some quality control issues that have crept up because they switched factories, but like by and large, that, like, we've talked about this before. Mostly what I'm doing these days is replacing older figures with newer figures because the newer figures are so dang good.
Yeah.
I have no reason to believe that they won't do the exact same thing with superheroes. What is the difference? Like, if you strip all the paint down and take the head off, what's the difference between a superhero figure and a wrestling figure? There is none.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. You just paint it differently and put a mask over it. You know what I mean? So my belief is that I'm going to be diving into this with both feet, because I do not have a DC collection currently.
Yeah.
And I love DC. DC is a big thing for me. So I have no reason to believe that I won't go just as hard into that as I did into wrestling. I bet I'll be buying that more than anything else when it starts like rolling.
I can see that. Yeah.
So before I even presented this to you, I came to that conclusion. I sat down and was like, okay, I'm gonna have to clear up some space, because I think it's gonna be my main collection when it starts rolling.
Yeah.
So I was like, what does that look like? Well, just like my wrestling shelf, my movie shelf, my Spider-Man shelf, my X-Men shelf, there's gonna be DC shelves. Right? And one of them is definitely going to be the Gotham shelf. So just like with everything else, I'll make an attempt, keyword attempt, at being one and done.
Yeah.
One Batman. Like, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Right? So Batman, Tim Drake Robin,
Agreed.
Nightwing, Alfred. Like, I would buy an Alfred figure.
Sure.
Jim Gordon, Lucius Fox, Red Hood, Joker, Bane, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Penguin, Two-Face, Catwoman, Killer Croc, Clayface, Deathstroke, Riddler, Solomon Grundy, Scarecrow, Ra's al Ghul, Talon, and Black Mask. Those are basically everyone from Gotham that I was like, that I could think of that I'm like, those are the ones that I need, and it would look very similar to my Spider-Man shelf, like Batman and I don't like the Bat family or even the term Bat family,
me
but
too.
let's say the good guys from Gotham and all of the Rogues gallery, like on a shelf. That would look incredible if it's this level of like wrestling quality.
Yeah.
Oh my God, sign me up for that all day long. Then I need a Metropolis shelf. And I'm thinking hitting up that backdrop guy on Instagram, getting like a Gotham backdrop, I might even get another Detolf to do this with. Getting a Metropolis backdrop and getting one Superman, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White. I would buy a Perry White.
Yeah.
Steel, Supergirl, Superboy, Lex Luthor, Eradicator, Cyborg Superman, Zod, Brainiac, Bizarro, Lobo, Doomsday, Parasite, Livewire, which, like, from the animated series, love Livewire, Metallo, and Darkseid.
It's great.
And then I would have a whole shelf dedicated to lanterns. So Hal Jordan, Kilowog, Guy Gardner, Jon Stewart, any Green Lanterns really, Sinestro, any Yellow Lanterns, Atrocitus, any Red Lanterns, Larfleeze, any Orange Lanterns, Blue Lanterns, Indigo, Carol Ferris, Violet Lanterns, Necron, Black Hand, Black Lanterns of all sorts, Kyle Rayner, and White Lanterns. Like, and maybe rings themselves.
Yeah.
Like if I could just do a Brightest Day, Blackest Night shelf, like organized risers, sectioned off, like the rainbow of figures.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Be beautiful.
Oh my God. And then lastly, just a JLU like miscellaneous shelf with Flash, Green Arrow, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Martian Manhunter, Atom, Black Canary, Booster Gold, Captain Marvel, Dr. Fate, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Question, Wildcat, Zatanna, Plastic Man, Swamp Thing, Constantine, Deadman, Etrigan, and Spectre.
Yeah.
I think that's every person in DC that I give a flying F about.
Sure.
So for me, I know I'm just going to go hot and heavy on the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do what I do with wrestling and what I do with Marvel and like monitor it and pre-order and hunt it. And there's going to be Walmart exclusives and Target exclusives and hopefully not like Walgreens or any crap like that.
Yeah.
But like it's going to put me back out on the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in 2020, late 26, 27, it's going to get me back into the game full steam ahead. I could just feel it coming.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that entire list. I would do the exact same thing, and now I'm already thinking, I'm like, I could probably just do that list right now with the DC Universe Classics, which I'm still gaining fulfillment from.
Yeah.
The same thing with DC Direct. Like, there's just something about those that are just like really speaking to me. So it's like my quest, your quest, like while I'm chasing the exact same thing, essentially.
You supersede nostalgia over quality, and those are not quality.
Sure.
They're not they're good figures, but they're not as good as a modern figure.
Yeah.
And I supersede quality because it still does give me the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like I still, as where it doesn't do that for you.
Yeah.
So like that's the difference.
Right.
But I think it's both valid.
Yeah.
Right. And what's weird is maybe the DC doesn't last that long because McFarlane just was here.
Yeah.
Like, are people going to just dump McFarlane? Or is it a bunch of people like us that went, I don't care about McFarlane, and that they just don't have a DC shelf? You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be interesting to see how that works.
I think toy stores around the world are probably, if they're keen, as we get closer to that time, I think they're probably going to be like, we need to have like a limit, because I think a lot of people are going to be bringing in their, depending on what they look like. Because I saw people being like, nope, I'm good with my McFarlanes. And whenever the Mattel thing came out, right?
I saw a lot of people that were clearly like McFarlane diehards that just made up their mind that anything else was like, ugh.
But if they look better and if they look amazing, I think you're going to have like a bunch of toy stores.
Toysters.
Or eBay being like, McFarlane lot for sale, anything, please, because I think a lot of people are going to be offloading for sure.
Yeah, later on this year, I guess we'll start to find out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are not going to be as informed as most toy collectors, toy buyers are not sitting around on Monday morning listening to us talk about toys. They're not informed.
Yeah.
They didn't get the announcement from Mattel. They don't know that those are basics. They don't know that there's such a thing as basics. They're just going to walk into a store. They're going to see Robin with ankles that don't move, and they're going to go, oh, that's crap, McFarlane did it better.
Yeah.
And they're going to give up on it, and then they'll have to find out a year down the road that there's now better figures, and the only way that they can get them is on the aftermarket.
Right.
And so there'll be this weird ecosystem that happens around DC figures that's going to be... It might blow up the cost of the classics. Like,
maybe.
Who knows? It'll be very
Or drop
interesting
'em.
to watch. Yeah. Get at us at Mighty Champions. Let us know what's on your hit list for DC. Let us know which fights you would add to our card, who you think would win the ones that we chose, what we left off that we should have added at Mighty Champions. We would love to know your guys' opinion on all of those sorts of things. Thank you for making us a part of your day, and we will catch you a week from now. Peace.